It's a new James Fox documentary about a UFO landing in Brazil in 1996. Holy shit, it's incredible.
Brazil UFO. In his podcast, Joe Rogan said he watched a new James Fox documentary about a UFO landing in 1996 near a city called Varginha in Brazil. According to witnesses and medical records, the military recovered a crashed craft and its living occupants. One creature was small, with slippery skin. A soldier picked it up to carry it for examination. Contact with the creature's skin introduced an unknown substance into his body. He developed a severe systemic infection, his immune system failed, and he died. All of this is documented in hospital records and official reports from those present. Rogan said he was stunned that such a case existed and that so many testimonies and medical files support it. He noted that the soldier's fatal infection showed unexpected risks from direct contact with the alien creature. He described the incident as both tragic and shocking. Number 1. Blue Ring. A man in China's Wan City region filmed a perfect blue ring glowing among the clouds.
In China, in the middle of the China Hubei province, Wuhan city.
The circle hovered at high altitude, its edges sharply defined, and its color a steady electric blue. It did not pulse or flicker, but shone with uniform brightness. The ring's interior remained darker, creating a window-like effect against the backdrop of night. As he zoomed in, the ring showed no visible support structure or distortion, suggesting a stable form rather than a storm phenomenon. Its position in the sky did not shift, even as wind currents stirred the surrounding clouds. Local viewers debated whether this was part of an advanced light display or a rare atmospheric lensing effect. Some pointed to experimental laser or holographic systems under development, while others dismissed it as a camera artifact. Yet the scale and stability of the ring made simple lens issues unlikely. No public event or entertainment display was scheduled in the area at that time. After several moments, the ring slowly sank behind a denser cloud layer, still glowing faintly until it disappeared. No official group claimed credit for the sighting, and regional authorities issued no statement. The blue ring remains an unsolved anomaly, captured in a single clip that offers few clues about its origin or purpose. Number 2. Dementors. On a quiet evening in Phoenix, a couple relaxing on their patio noticed drones and a helicopter circling overhead. Suddenly, the helicopter banked sharply as if in pursuit of something unseen. They aimed their camera and caught sight of 3 dark, cloud-like bodies moving in close formation. These forms drifted against the night sky, their edges blurred yet solid enough to stand out. At times, one surged ahead before curving back, while the others followed a coordinated path. The helicopter maintained its chase, flashing under its searchlight, but made no contact. Despite the low visibility, the trio of dark objects remained in view for several seconds. They did not flash lights or leave trails, and their movement had an unpredictable quality as they shifted direction mid-flight. Witnesses compared them to recent reports of similar Dementor shapes, small, dark masses that seemed to dodge pursuit. The camera's night vision mode rendered the scene grainy, but clear enough to rule out birds or standard drones. Local speculation ranged from experimental law enforcement craft to atmospheric disturbances stirred by the helicopter's downdraft. Yet none of those explanations fully accounted for the object's coordinated flight and resistance to rotor wash. After a tense pursuit, the 3 shapes vanished behind a low cloud bank. No agency claimed responsibility, and no radar data was released. The sighting adds to a pattern of unexplained dark formations observed near active aircraft at night, leaving their nature an open question. Number 3. Grouped craft. A group of friends standing outside their home spotted a line of lights hovering in the distance.
That's weird, buddy. Hold on a second. I can't tell if it's drones or what.
They're not parachuters because
They look big.
They grabbed a phone and recorded as the lights held a tight formation, floating above a field. At first, the shapes looked like drones, but their size and brightness seemed larger than typical hobby models. The lights moved as a unit, shifting into different patterns. At one point, they stretched into a straight line, then contracted back into a compact cluster. The soft glow of each light remained constant, not blinking in the way drone navigation lights do. Curious, one of the friends tried to get closer for a better view, while another kept the camera steady to capture the full formation. Moments later, an unrelated driver recorded the same lights from another angle. In that clip, the lights appeared to merge and then separate again, briefly forming an outline resembling a vehicle, before returning to a simple array of orbs. Both recordings included no noise or exhaust trails. Locals speculated about a drone demonstration by hobbyists or an unannounced aerial performance. Others thought it might be a covert government exercise testing swarm technology. The consistency between the two clips added credibility, yet neither shed light on the origin. Without flight clearance records or eyewitness testimony from authorities, the group of lights remains one of many recent cases of unexplained formations in the sky. Number 4. Perfect circle. A man working at a local shop looked up and saw a dark ring hovering in one spot above him. He held his phone steady to record the scene, framing the shape against the pale cloud cover. The circle had a smooth outline with sharp edges, clearly defined against the lighter sky. It stayed perfectly still, showing no sign of drifting or breaking apart. Unlike the smoke rings sometimes seen at concerts, this form held its shape and did not dissipate. After a few seconds, a bright glow began to shine from behind the cloud layer, casting a subtle aura around the ring's edge. The light shifted slowly in hue, touching off brief flashes that hinted at a hidden source beyond the clouds. Concerned, the observer stepped back under his shop's overhang, keeping the ring and the glow in view. He remained focused on the two phenomena, noting that neither the circle nor the glow seemed attached to any visible structure. The scene gave the impression of a solid object blocking part of the light, yet it offered no view of any material framework. Observers might wonder if this was an experimental aircraft using advanced optics, an atmospheric oddity, or something else entirely. The lack of dispersion and movement suggests a physical presence rather than a transient vapor shape. As the glow continued, the ring held fast, inviting speculation about its origin and purpose. Without further footage or official comment, the sighting remains unexplained, a snapshot of something unusual in the sky. Number 5. Mechufo. A man grabbing a late-night snack sat outside a fast food restaurant when he noticed 3 bright points hovering overhead. From his viewpoint, they formed a neat triangle and stayed in position without drifting. He raised his phone to capture the scene as the lights rotated slowly around a central point. Each orb maintained a consistent glow, neither flickering nor dimming, and their spacing remained perfectly uniform. The restaurant building below confirmed that the lights were high above ground level. Passers-by glanced up but carried on, assuming it might be decorative lighting or a drone demonstration. Yet the slow, deliberate rotation and steady illumination hinted at purpose rather than a random display. No engines, propellers, or wires were visible, and the orbs did not emit any sound that could be heard from the seating area. As he filmed, the man joked about offering food to the airborne visitors, but he also admitted surprise at how the lights held their formation. The lack of any drifting pattern suggested more control than hobbyist drones typically offer. Once the clip reached social media, some speculated about secret tests by local hobby groups, while others thought it could be a single craft projecting multiple lights. The mystery deepened because the lights neither approached nor left, simply turning in place before fading from view. Without an official explanation, the sighting stands among recent reports of unexplained nocturnal light formations. Number 6. Dazzling Colors. A group taking a night walk along a Miami beach witnessed 2 vivid streaks of light moving side by side across the sky. Their colors shifted gently from green to pink as they passed, creating a ribbon-like trail. One person filmed the first pass, then ran along the shore to capture a second angle from farther down. The lights traveled at a steady pace, too fast for drones but slower than typical jets. No sound accompanied their flight, and the trails faded almost instantly, leaving no smoke or sparks behind. Some onlookers guessed it was a private rocket launch by a local space company, but the color palette did not align with known exhaust plumes. Others suggested atmospheric refraction of distant starlight or city lights bending through high-altitude moisture. Despite online claims of a major rocket test that night, official launch schedules did not list any activity. The smooth motion, uniform brightness, and dazzling hues created a display unlike fireworks or commercial aircraft. The event repeated briefly on another stretch of coastline, confirming its broad path across southern Florida. Without confirmation from aerospace authorities or radar traces, the source of the colored streaks remains a mystery, leaving those who saw them to wonder if they glimpsed something new in the night sky. Number 7. Hovering objects. On a San Diego beach at night, a man noticed a black shape suspended in the air above the shoreline. He raised his phone to record, focusing on the strange form that held its position without drifting. It had a smooth, featureless surface with no propellers, wings, or balloons in sight. Despite the breeze and the activity around him, the object did not budge. The silhouette cast a faint outline against the clouds above, hinting at a solid mass. Beachgoers nearby seemed unaware at first, continuing their strolls until someone pointed out the sighting. The man zoomed in, panning around, yet the shape stayed exactly where it appeared. Days before, a similar object was reported over a coastal city in Mexico, suggesting a possible link. The repeated appearance of identical shapes prompted discussion of a wider phenomenon. Some suggested optical illusions caused by debris or high-altitude trash, but those usually drift with wind currents. Others thought it might be a test of new hovering drone technology, but the object's silent, still presence and size did not match known prototypes. No official sources reported any testing in the area. The beach sighting remains unexplained, adding to an increasing number of reports of static dark objects appearing around the globe in unexpected locations. Number 8. Cloud Swarm. A passenger on a commercial flight recorded dozens of dark shapes drifting among the clouds outside the window. The objects hovered steadily at high altitude, maintaining their positions relative to the aircraft. In the brief clip, at least 20 forms could be counted, each about the size of a small drone from the cabin viewpoint. They did not drift with the wind, but stayed arranged in a loose grid. The shapes had a muted, matte appearance, refraining from reflecting sunlight like birds or balloons. Other passengers noticed and pointed their cameras, but flight attendants made no announcements, and the pilot did not adjust the flight path. The uniform distribution and lack of movement relative to the plane suggested a controlled arrangement rather than random debris. After several seconds, the objects faded from view as the plane descended past their altitude. Online, viewers compared this to other cloud-level sightings where groups of objects have held formation for minutes. Some experts suggested they could be drones launched for weather monitoring, while others argued those typically show blinking lights. Another theory pointed to rare cloud formations causing optical illusions. Without additional angles or ground confirmation, the true nature of the cloud swarm remains unsolved and subject to further investigation. Number 9. Live news. During a routine live weather report, a news station camera captured a glowing object emerging from behind a cloud bank. The anchor shifted the camera just in time to reveal a bright form that moved across the sky at high speed. The object had a slight shine and passed through the frame in less than 2 seconds, leaving no contrail. Viewers watching live saw the anchor gesture toward the phenomenon before the feed returned to standard coverage. Later that week, wildfire coverage in California included another similar clip, a bright, fast-moving object darting above smoke plumes, then disappearing. Both videos were recorded on professional broadcast equipment, reducing the likelihood of a smartphone glitch. Analysts debated whether these objects could be experimental aircraft, a test of advanced drones, or something else. Radar data was not released, and no air traffic control logs indicated an unidentified contact. The fleeting nature of the sightings, captured on live television with no editing, added weight to their authenticity. Despite the rapid movement, neither clip showed any exhaust trail or wing structure. The events left professional meteorologists and viewers intrigued, as no standard explanation, military exercise, private test, or known aircraft, matched the recorded behavior. Number 10. UFO Passes Plane. A bystander filming a scheduled commercial flight noticed an oval white shape moving alongside the airliner. The object had no wings or tail and maintained a parallel course at roughly the same altitude. Its smooth surface reflected sunlight differently than the plane's metallic fuselage. The recording captured only a few seconds before the shape slipped behind a cloud, but it was long enough to rule out a bird or weather balloon. Ground radar logs and flight trackers showed no registered traffic at that position. Airline crew reported no cockpit alarms or transponder contacts. Aviation experts remarked that a high-altitude balloon would drift with wind currents rather than match the plane's speed and direction. The silent, controlled flight path of the oval object suggested an advanced propulsion system or thorough atmospheric tuning. No sound was recorded, and the object did not emit any visible exhaust. Its appearance alongside a standard aircraft raised questions about unreported air traffic or new surveillance platforms. Without further sightings or data, the origin and purpose of the egg-shaped object remain unclear. Number 11. Green explosion. A static security camera outside a barn recorded an unexpected green streak slicing through the sky. The flash appeared suddenly, moving swiftly downwards and glowing with an emerald hue. Moments before it would have hit the ground, the light suddenly intensified and then vanished without an explosion or debris. No sound accompanied the event, even though nearby livestock and residents would likely have reacted. The green color suggested high-temperature re-entry, but the abrupt disappearance did not align with typical meteor breakups. A year earlier, a similar green fireball had been filmed in Las Vegas, producing recoverable fragments and a visible crater. In this case, no impact site or fragments were found around the barn. Neighbors reported no burns or damage at ground level. Some scientists proposed an unusual type of meteor entering at a steep angle, burning out before ground contact. Others theorized a rare atmospheric electrical discharge interacting with dust particles. The clarity of the security footage ruled out camera artifacts. As word spread, amateur sky watchers and meteor experts discussed the event online, yet no consensus emerged. The green flash over the barn remains an open case in the catalog of mysterious aerial phenomena, recorded clearly but lacking any physical evidence. Number 12. Whistle UFO. A retired helicopter pilot released grainy night vision footage showing an egg-shaped object hanging below a helicopter by a cable. According to his account, this came from a secret program to retrieve unidentified aerial objects. The shape was large, easily the size of a small car, and had a smooth, featureless surface. In the recording, the pilot narrated the process of lowering the object toward the ground at an undisclosed site. Later, the same shape was filmed protruding from a cave, as if stored underground. The cave clip was dark and lacked reference points, but the contours matched the earlier footage. Viewers noted the absence of markings or windows on the object. Skeptics pointed out that heavy machinery could appear similar under night vision, and that the pilot's story lacked supporting documents. Supporters argued that his aviation background lent credibility, and that the shape was unlike any known cargo. A third video allegedly showed the object moving outside a lunar module, but that clip lacked independent verification. The combination of videos, pilot testimony, and dramatic claims led to divided opinion. Without access to the original recordings or third-party validation, the so-called whistle UFO continues to spark debate over authenticity and the possibility of undisclosed recoveries. Number 13. Multi-billion-dollar mistake footage of a SpaceX Starship launch in Texas showed the craft breaking apart in mid-air and erupting into a fireball. Spectators across several counties filmed the bright trail as it climbed, then exploded into pieces. Initially, some onlookers assumed the site was an alien incursion rather than a rocket failure. As debris fell, small glowing orbs appeared near the main fireball, moving independently. These orbs drifted around the primary cloud before fading out. Engineers later suggested they might be fragments of the vehicle's insulation or hardware glowing in the re-entry heat. Others argued their distinct circular shape and coordinated movement hinted at a separate phenomenon. Multiple recordings from different angles confirmed the presence of these orbs alongside the wreckage. No official explanation addressed them directly, focusing instead on the cause of the rocket loss. The mix of known rocket debris and unexplained lights fueled online discussion. Some experts reviewed telemetry and debris models to rule out reflections or lens flares. Yet absent a detailed investigation or public release of high-resolution footage, the orbs remained a curious footnote in a high-profile engineering setback. Number 14. Dark Pyramid. Driving through open fields, a woman spotted a black, pyramid-shaped object hovering in the sky. She stopped her car, rolled down the window, and filmed as the shape held steady above the landscape. The object had perfectly straight edges and a sharp apex, unlike the rounded forms of most aircraft. It rotated slowly, revealing each face in turn as it turned on its vertical axis. The surface appeared matte, absorbing sunlight rather than reflecting it, and cast a faint shadow against the cloud layer behind it. Curious drivers slowed to observe, but no one could explain how it remained aloft. There were no visible cables or support lines, and its size seemed too large for hobby drone rigs. After a few moments, the pyramid drifted behind a small hill and out of sight. Later, locals shared reports of similar pyramid sightings elsewhere, but no official narrative emerged. The clear geometry and smooth rotation suggested advanced technology, though skeptics pointed to possible hoax methods using thin wires or CGI overlays. Without physical evidence or radar confirmation, the Dark Pyramid stands as one of many sightings of unusual geometric shapes in the sky. Number 15. Cloud UFO. From his balcony, a man spotted part of a cloud bank separate and move on its own. It lingered for several seconds, drifting horizontally before climbing slightly and then merging back into the main cloud mass. He called his partner over to confirm the odd movement, hoping for a second opinion. The detached fragment had a slightly darker tone at its edges, giving it a misty yet defined look against the sky. It moved smoothly, without sudden jumps or shifts, and retained consistent size and shape. After rejoining the larger cloud, it disappeared from view, and the sky returned to a uniform layer. Online viewers suggested this could be a rare lenticular formation or a small parcel of cloud affected by an unseen updraft. Others proposed it might be a cloaked craft using condensation to blend in with natural cloud structures. The clean separation and reattachment challenged typical wind-driven cloud behavior. Although brief, the recording added to a series of recent reports showing cloud-level entities that break away and vanish. No meteorological station reported anomalies at the time, and no aircraft were logged in that airspace. The sighting remains an open question between atmospheric science and unexplained aerial phenomena. So what are your thoughts on these sightings? Let us know in the comments below.